Welcome all y'all. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow your roll, kid. Man, that thing came in blaring, blasted. YouTube, don't get carried away. That was my own content, okay? Y'all know. So if you heard that, please, I don't want to spill his beans on the brand new carpet. The wife will lose it. So welcome back to the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Earnings season is upon us once again. That occurs 4 times a year. What am I talking about? What earnings season? What are you talking about? I'm from the hood. I'm not exposed to that in the hood. I might have heard a thing or two about stocks, about bonds. It's all good. Shout out to my Facebook family, my YouTube family. Shout out to all of y'alls. The professor came back and put some ideas on blast. Guys, get over there. Get over there. Put them on blast. Homeboy's making a move next to me. You see him? Probably about to start his day. He's getting himself ready. Earnings. Earnings. In the United States, corporations that are publicly traded, in other words, corporations that sell their stocks, are required to report company earnings every 3 months and yearly. This is mandated, and the Securities and Exchange Commission is the one responsible for enforcing this law. Is it a law? I don't remember. But it is mandatory. So the corporation, so if you're buying stocks from a corporation, that corporation has to report their earnings. And it's not just how much they've earned, there's some other financial information wrapped up in there. If it's your first time ever hearing about the fact that corporations have to report their earnings every 3 months, I want to warn you. I want to warn you because these reports are not guaranteed to be accurate or honest. Not guaranteed. They're supposed to, but it's not guaranteed. Case in point is Enron. Y'all ain't never heard about Enron. Let me post that up. Enron. Let me throw that up. Enron. Here we go. Who better? Who better than this? Right? Who better? Check it out. Just so that you understand. Let's read a little bit of this. You don't have to, but I'll read it for you just in case. The Enron scandal was a major accounting fraud. Accounting fraud, y'all. Remember, earnings report is heavily dependent on information provided through accounting. And this was a major accounting fraud perpetrated by the American energy company Enron Corporation. It involved the use of special purpose entities to hide debt, SPEs, to hide debt, inflate profits, miss, yeah, my lip kind of got stuck to my tooth there. Inflate profits, mislead investors, woo, leading to the company's bankruptcy and the downfall of its auditor, Arthur Anderson. Auditor, yeah, they get audited. So if you're in the hood and you're being exposed to the stock market for the first time, and somebody talks to you about, well, company has to present their earnings every 3 months. Okay, okay. So does that mean you shouldn't do a deep dive in what's going on with this company? Well, you can do that. It might be a more responsible thing for you to do. Might be. Little homework doesn't hurt. It's nice to get your homework. I'm looking around the floor, see if I see any little white rocks. So it doesn't hurt to do a little homework. And you can find all this information whenever you want right here. And it's free. You can get a lot of information free right here. Look, Yahoo Finance right here. You can find you plenty of information on Yahoo Finance. Plenty of information. Why am I bringing up earnings today? I never talk about this stuff. Why am I talking about this today? Tomorrow, I don't even know what time tomorrow. It's usually either before the market opens at 9:30 in the morning or after the markets close at 4 that earnings are reported. But there's a specific company whose earnings are going to come out tomorrow. And it is a big deal for the most part. A lot of people are paying attention. A lot of investors are paying attention to the earnings report of this particular company. Now, here's the deal, right? Here's how earnings reports go. There are analysts that work for investment firms, hedge funds, private entities that have analysts. And these analysts, they crunch the numbers and try to figure out what to expect as far as the company's earnings are concerned. The cash flow, whether it's gone up, gone down, stayed the same, whether the earnings per share has gone up, down, or stayed the same. And depending on this information, some investors will make a decision as to whether to keep the stock, buy more of the stock, sell the stock, sell some of the stock. And this buying some or selling some is all part of risk management. I'm going to get into too much detail about that, but that's the deal. Risk management. Sometimes you're better off just selling off some of that stock so that you can get more of another stock that you think is going to perform better. Maybe it's all speculation. And that's a lot more activity than what the Furious Five are doing. You don't have to get all in depth about risk management. You could do it if you want to. And like I said in many videos, you can learn all the terminology, you can learn all about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, so that you can repeat everything you learned so that you can impress everybody at the parties, at the social gatherings, and everybody can pat you on the back and applaud you and say how smart you are. You can do all that if you want to. That's that doesn't mean you're going to make money as an investor, but you'll sound smart. You'll sound smart. So you have the analysts. They crunch the numbers. They put out what they think is happening or is going to happen with the company's financials. Sometimes the financials point to an increase in profitability or a decrease in profitability. Now, when you hear one or the other, you think that the stock is going to go either higher or lower. If somebody has a report where profitability has gone up, sometimes you think, oh, if profitability went up, the stock price is going to go up. Or if the profitability is down, you think that the stock price is going to go down. You can decide what you want to do with that perception, buy or sell as a result of that perception. You can also make the decision based on just how big of a loss or an increase they're saying. Not just how big, well, before I get into that part, you can make your decision based on that part. Yeah, that part. Now, here's the deal though. The report comes out, you see what the expectations are according to the analysts. That's their expectation. It could fall short of that, or be right. They could be right on target, or the results can be better than what the analysts project. One of those three. One of those three. But here's a little something that happens after the report comes through, after the results come out. You have the conference call. The conference call. So in the conference call, the CEO is putting out their projection about the company's health, where it's going, what kind of things are impacting the company's performance. let's say the earnings showed that the company outperformed, so they performed better than what the analysts were expecting. They're outperforming, y'alls. Outperforming. So, you clap, yay. Company's outperforming. You can expect this stock price to go down. Oh, up. I'm sorry. You can expect this stock price to go up. However, you're looking at the stock price going down. Wait a minute. What do you mean it's going down? Didn't they just report? Didn't they just report that they performed better than what the analyst said? Better. Yeah. But during the conference call, the CEO said, we got tough times ahead of us. I don't know what's going to happen. Those are not good words to hear as far as institutional investors are concerned. Oh, those are not good words. Those are not good words. That's why you see the stock price going down, even though the earnings report is showing that the current quarter that they're reporting has outperformed analysts' projection. Remember, the analysts are putting out their it's a projection because they're putting out their idea of what's going to be reported. They don't know what's been reported. They're gathering information from other sources to try to figure out what to expect on earnings. That's why the word projection is being used. So the numbers can come in really nice, but that conference call can have words being used that would make institutional investors very nervous, very nervous. And as a result, they feel that it's time to do some risk management. It's time to take a look at the portfolios that we have and decide whether or not we want to keep as many as of these shares of this company as what we have now. We may need to sell off some, or we may need to sell off all. This is not financial advice, guys. This is not investment advice, by the way. This is for entertainment purposes only. As a matter of fact, let's keep it a buck. That's not the one I wanted, but whatever, it popped up. That's helpful anyway. Let's keep it a buck. Let's put that financial disclaimer up. Okay, nothing I'm saying is to be confused or deemed to be financial advice or investment advice. It is not. And I also, so so YouTube, I also threw up the fair use, okay, because I'm going to show off a report. It's not a video, it's a report, but I'm not 100% sure on YouTube's approach to copywritten material. What this is volatility. We can discuss that another day, but I don't really want to. Volatility. That's not the thing. Let's go to the news. Go to the latest news. Let's see what's going on in the world. I have no idea why this thing. I have no idea why this engine on. Yes, all my peoples in the hood want to buy. A major disruption occurred. Sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Like I was saying, I don't know how much of that you heard, but down in the description below, that, yeah, my brain got disrupted too. Down in the description below, there's a link to what is considered by uh, independent, whatever they are, the top, the top investment app, which is Webull. And if you tap on the link, you can earn up to 20 stocks, depending on how much you deposit into your account, whole shares and partial shares. Something to consider. So with the earnings, as I showed you, or as I explained, or as you saw, as you read with Enron, you don't always get the truth. You got to be careful. But there's one company tomorrow whose earnings a lot of people are curious to see, because a lot of things happen in association with the company and the CEO of that company and their activity and behavior outside of what their job requires them to do as CEO of that corporation. And that corporation is Tesla. Tesla and Elon Musk. So that's like a major, major thing. Trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. Here it is, y'alls. There's too much going on. And okay, let me give you, before I show you this, explain my position, because I never owned a share of Tesla in my, I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was worth buying. Honestly, I didn't. And I was, one of the most powerful, one of the most powerful corporations or group of corporations in the United States is the- the- it's probably the most powerful industry in the United States, and that's the oil industry. They're extremely powerful. And I understand the whole issue that we have with climate change and a desire to shift from fossil fuels to renewable energies. I get that. But when has an issue like that ever stopped a powerful industry from shifting into something that will yield less profit, less wealth, or impact a huge number of wealthy people's wealth? Shifting without having something to replace whatever is providing that industry with the price. Yeah, that's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be a thing. You have, and again, politics is a part of your life, whether you or not. Politics impact your purse, your your bank account. Politics will impact all those things, whether you like it or not. There were enough politicians voting in favor of government provide certain companies with the money necessary to keep those companies afloat or to even advance, provided that they were participating in or enhancing renewable energy. Tesla was one of those companies. And yes, Elon benefited greatly from your tax money. Keep, don't forget that part. You should never forget that part. Tesla, Elon Musk profited greatly through subsidies, also known as welfare, corporate welfare, which helped to make him wealthy. Don't forget that. Now, renewable energy, it's all beautiful, but we're talking about an electric vehicle. For the past whatever number of years since Tesla came out, there weren't that many. There weren't that many electric vehicles. I don't even think right now there are that many electric vehicles. So, and I bring this up because we have to consider how the number of electric vehicles will impact our electric grid. And for too long, there's been the fear that our electric grid is so terribly outdated that at any given point in time, our grid could fail. I haven't heard anything about any updates to our electric grid. Maybe it has, but has it improved to the point where 50% of the vehicles on the road can be electric vehicles? Can our electric grid sustain 50% of the vehicles that we have on the road being electric, needing to plug in? Can it do that? That was my question to myself. I didn't get an answer to that question. I didn't find an answer. So therefore, until I find that answer, I didn't think investing in electric vehicles was a good idea. So I never bothered to purchase any Tesla shares. Just so that you know. So now let's go to the report. Let's go to the videotape. Well, no, I won't. I won't be doing video because YouTube may not like that. Yeah, YouTube is not a fan of that. So here's a report, right? Or a report. This is a report by Brian Sozi. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Executive editor of what? Of Yahoo Finance, I guess. So here we go. In case you're cleaning, cooking, and first to crunch from Tesla's earnings report after today's close, or Elon Musk comments to dissect on the earnings call. Elon is one of those people that Whoa, how long has my mic been out? I don't even know how long my mic's been out. Let's see. I'm checking to see how long my mic has been out. Ooh, it's been out for a while. Man, it's been out for a while. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it's been out for a hot minute. I mean, what's today? 8 o'clock. Bro, I'm already late. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I'll have to come back to this. Hopefully, whatever you heard so far has been useful. The last whatever, I'll figure out what to do with that. Hey, Brandon. Brandon, I'm glad you came in just now, but I had to go.
Me too. I was just on break. Saw you were in. I say hi.
Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
Have
I
a
gotta
great day,
go,
buddy.
man. All
All right.
right,
Have a
bud.
great day.
Thank you.
See ya.
You too. All right.